It has been 1,338 days since Dave last dropped an album, or more easily 3 years, 7 months and 27 days. Yes, I've actually looked that up, and I think he's dropping an album this year. I am like 99% sure he is dropping an album this year. I don't have any insider knowledge, but I know it's happening. Reason I know it's happening is because if he doesn't drop an album this year, a lot of people will just get pissed off. Just straight up, they will get pissed off. And so nothing has been confirmed. We've had like the odd tweet out here, the odd Instagram photo here and there. Nothing really cemented though that he's dropping an album this year, but I know it's happening. And so closer to the date when that album gets announced, there'll be plenty more videos coming, what to expect from the Dave album, etc, etc. But in this one, I want to go into what I want to see on the album, what might not be likely to be on the album, but something that I'd think, fuck, that'd be sick if that was on the album. As far as details on the album, I literally know nothing. I don't know what it's called, don't know how many songs it is, don't know how many features it is, but whatever it is, the pressure that's been built up is pretty big because of the anticipation. People anticipated, this album is so highly anticipated, people can't wait for it to drop. He is the guy in the UK that is quality over quantity. I know you got people like Huss that don't drop that regularly either, Skepta as well, but Dave, I feel like he wants to be the one where you can look at his catalogue at the end of his career and be like, there are zero misses in that shit. Number one, the thing that I don't think we will see, but I would love to fucking see, is Dave with a US lyrical legend, someone who can really rap from the US. If you look at Dave albums, first thing you're gonna have in there is a UK feature. You know, we had J Hus, Stormzy, all the people on In the Fire. Like, there's always UK rappers on a Dave project. African artists, Burna Boy, Wizkid, just to name a few. But the one thing that Dave's never had on any of his albums is a huge artist from the US. When it comes to a Dave album, I wouldn't want to see a Drake on there. I wouldn't want to see a fucking Sabrina Carpenter on there, a Dua Lipa on there. But if Dave was going to include any American artist on his next album, I want it to be a J. Cole, a Benny the Butcher, a Corday, Larry June, a Freddie Gibbs, a West Side Gun. Someone like that, I feel, would be a perfect match for a Dave album. And I feel like it could happen if he really wanted to. If he really wanted to make it happen, he could easily make one of those features happen. He did a song with Jack Harlow, which was sick. Do you know what I mean? It was sick for the Lyrical Lemonade project. I like Jack Harlow, but someone just that extra level up, like the ones I just mentioned there. If I saw them on the Dave track list, bro, you do not understand. A proper lyricist, Andre 3000 or some shit, like, wouldn't happen. That would be crazy. This is sort of like my wish list, you could say, of things that probably won't happen, might happen, but are unlikely. Because my second would be like a pure grime song on there. I don't want the whole album to be a grime album. Dave isn't a grime artist at the end of the day. Can you imagine if Dave got like all of BBK on a grime song on one of his albums? The only thing that worries me about doing that is how is he going to fit it into one of his albums? Because while I'd want a song like that, the main thing that I fucking love about his albums are they're cohesive. But if he found a way to get a load of these grime MCs onto the album, you know, people who as a UK rap fan, as a grime music fan, you'd look down that list, you'd think, like, looking at the names, just a couple. And then finally a J Hus feature, and that's as far as I'm going to go with the features, because as much as it's cool to have all the features in that, the songs on his own are usually the best. If I take you back to Psychodrama, my personal favourites, Screwface Capital, you know, even Streatham, hella overplayed, but that song's fucking good, right? That song is good. Both solos, not too many features, but the right features. That's what I feel like is important, and he usually does that, but I feel like this time it would be nice to see an artist from over in America just on that track list, the right one. The next thing that I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more on this album is Dave's own production. Dave playing the instruments, because the guy's been seen playing the piano, he's been seen playing the guitar. The guy is seriously talented. He is seriously talented. So that's exactly why I feel like on this album, not only will he be heavily involved in the production, if not the main producer on pretty much every song. It'd be sick once the album drops. You know, you were hearing him speaking about it, saying that was me really doing that on the guitar, that was me really playing those keys. That's the sort of thing that you get on a Dave album, which takes him to the next level, which is the reason why people are happy to wait 4 years for an album, because your average rapper isn't out there in the studio playing the piano and the guitar. They just don't, because you can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to learn to play the guitar or the piano or however many fucking instruments he plays. let alone learn to fully produce to that standard. This shit takes time, you know what I mean? Can't rush greatness, takes time. So I think that's a lot of the reason why it's been taking so long, because when this album drops, you best get your best pair of headphones when it drops. Don't be listening to it on no iPhone. The reason I think that it's taken so long is the production, the lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, but they become more second nature. Once you put the lyrics down on the song, you know, you might change the odd few bars, but realistically the lyrics, most of them will probably stay the same, whereas the production, it's all those little things. When you listen to a song over and over and over again, you'll think, oh, actually, I could add that in there, or I could change that and change that. This is the reason it's taken so long, I think, anyway. Obviously, I'm not no mind reader. I feel like this one's probably more likely to happen, is that he is going to be essentially waving the flag for the entire UK when it comes to the UK rap scene. Old fans and new fans, while their opinions are split, you've got grime heads versus, I don't know, new UK drill fans. They clash heads, they will clash heads, but the one thing pretty much all of them agree on is that Dave is one of the greatest rappers to come from the UK, and most of them are happy, if not want him to be the face of the UK rap scene. And during the time that Dave last dropped an album in 2021 to today, the scene has grown like tremendously big, like way bigger than it ever has been. You know, partly because of Central C, partly because of a load of other shit, partly because of all the other genres. Through all of that, you've got a guy who hasn't dropped pretty much any music, very little music, still has the most anticipated album this year. And so there's going to be such a bigger audience listening to that album. I feel like the UK are going to back it more than they did with the Central C album, because I made a video on the Central C album. The one thing I didn't really mention was there wasn't really much impact on that album. You know, the rollout was sick, the marketing was sick, I thought the album was really solid, but the album wasn't that memorable. Psychodrama is probably one of the most impactful UK rap albums in the last 10 years. These deep ass songs, I think, amazing songs. Leslie, amazing song. Heart Attack, amazing song. The balance between finding depth and replay value and songs you can vibe with, that's probably going to be the most important thing on this entire album, because if he goes too deep, people are going to say, oh, you know, I mean, lyric merchant, message merchant, whatever. I don't really know yet. But if he doesn't go deep enough and he just makes bangers, people are going to say it's shit, because if the song has no substance, but it's got replay value, then, you know what I mean? So I don't want that many features. Maybe he'll go featureless, drop no features at all. That would be crazy. Don't announce the features before the album comes out. I feel like that, for me, as someone who reacts to it, not just as someone who reacts to it, you know, on the internet, but as a fan, that feeling when you see the track list and you don't know who's coming up next, and you just hit start on that song and then an artist comes out of nowhere. Like, I call it like the sicko mode feel.
This track is called Sicko Mode. Track 3.
You can't describe it, and I wish more artists did that. Don't announce the features before it's released. That would be my only please. In fact, that is my final wish for this album. This video has sort of been my wish list of things that probably won't happen, but could happen. Of course, I'll be reacting to the album live on stream. My Twitch is in the description. Make sure you go and follow it if you haven't already, please, and thank you. I'd appreciate it. But I love hearing what you guys have to say in the comments. I appreciate everyone supporting me in the comments, everyone dropping the video a like. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please go and hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments as well what you want to see on the Dave album, not what you think you'll see on the Dave album. What do you want to see on that Dave album? Appreciate everyone who's supporting the videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.